Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing fantastic. We have a very serious situation on our hands, and I'm in a really good mood, so this video will probably be weird. Now we have a giant ice and rainstorm stretching from Texas all the way up into Canada, and it's causing problems. And I'm sure some people are like, hey, you fearmonger, it's just a storm. I'm like, hey, stick with me, jerk ass. Because at this moment, we have 161 river gauges showing in flood. And 2 weeks ago, when they had 3 that were showing there in flood. So this is the very beginning of a very long duration rain event. And if you're looking at worst case scenarios, this could get extremely bad. And if you want to put on top of it the fact that Americans couldn't even agree that they need to have their shoes tied while jogging. Like literally, it's like aliens have stuck their alien dicks in our minds and are forcing us to argue with each other all the time. They're forcing people to blame all the problems in the history of a 7,000-year civilization on the group they don't like, which is making everything interesting and causing major problems. I mean, we have major flooding going on. I think it's the Ohio River in West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Mississippi, and unfortunately, I'm here to tell you it's only going to get worse. We're going to see a lot of moisture, rain, precip falling in the next week. And this, usually you can times this whole factor by 3 to 5. So we're going to see some pretty bad floods. And the main cause, in my own opinion, and remember, this is not a forecast. I'm not a professional meteorologist. I'm just Star-Lord New Thor 7. A super awesome human being. Trying to inspire everyone with laughter and questions. So we got here is the Azores High. And it is spinning clockwise. And it is forming a blocking pattern now, I do believe. So it's causing the rain. So it's almost like the circular conveyor belt. See how it's pushing it up through here? You see what I'm saying? Like, if you watch in the forecast, you'll notice it's just churning it. And so it'll be like a big circle of rain. So like there's the rain. So this front is pulling up all the moisture up through here. And it will continue to do so. Don't believe me? Let's look at the forecast. But I know you believe me. And your intuition says you should believe him. He's a cool guy. And that's true. All right. So we are watching the GFS. And so here is the Azores High. And notice how the precip follows its outer edges. And so the more the Azores High continues to just kind of show up and stay there, the more rain all these places are going to get. And so, remember, these models have been pretty wonky and almost always to the underside. So we were talking Texas, I know Dallas having problems flooding now. But it's going to get very moist, very wet, and very wacky. But I've been trying to prepare you guys for 5 years. So have no fear. Better days are almost here. I believe that. Though it's going to get pretty sketchy. It's going to get scary at times. Just remember, humanity has always survived the darkest moments of time. And on this weird thing, this usually gives us 3 or 4 days. And it's basically just saying that slow Azores High moisture pattern is just going to sit there. So I just want everybody to be prepared. The river situation is going to get worse, and it could get very bad. So if you are near a river or a creek in our flooding areas, You need to monitor that. And people need to start having some type of escape routes or plans. I keep thinking about starting a hurricane club in Houston. But I'll have to wait till my confidence comes back a little. I'll remind you guys, at THORNEWS, I have a saying. The sun acts weird, the weather acts weird, and people act weird. And you throw eclipses on top of that, and things have been pretty crazy. That's why I've been wanting to talk to y'all, but I just felt like it was better for me to just wait. Because these are the days where everybody gets triggered off everything, and a lot of people are like displaced aggression cannons. So, I need to get to a strong point, at which I'm at. We got a sun pillar. Sunset, beautiful. Aurora from minor storm. Look at that aurora from a minor storm. And we're going to have more geomagnetic unrest today and tomorrow from the solar wind stream. And these auroras have been amazing, shapely, and colorful. A lot of the aurora chasers are saying these are the greatest auroras they've ever seen. So, times they are changing. And so I have faith. And I really believe that, as I've said before, evil peaked August 21st, 2017. And from there, each eclipse has been like a step down. So we are headed towards better days. And even after and around the eclipse, I could sense the anger coming from the darker side, where they know their power is slipping. And so they have to double their efforts in this diminishing returns situation. And they are not happy about change. They are not happy that seasons change. And it seems like we've been going through winter since 9/11. And just rejoice, because we are headed towards spring in a metaphorical sense. But I want to thank you guys for sticking with me through thick and thin. And I want you guys to know that I love you. And I think we're going to end up okay. Unless you don't want to be okay, then you won't. But that's what you wanted, so you should be okay with that. You know what I'm saying? All right. So I'm going to get back to making videos, because it's going to be a wild weather situation for the next 10 days for sure. So just stay cool, stay informed, have no fear. And I've been doing this weird drill for like 3 days. The eclipse has really messed with me. And the drill has been, imagine that your girlfriend, or the woman you want, has a piece of technology that can read your mind at all times. And so by doing that, I've cut down on my negative thoughts by like 95% over 3 days. I've been doing a lot of meditating, watching the sky. It's been pretty magic. And so, just cutting down on the negative thought completely has raised my game. I feel like I've leveled up, which is good. But then, remember, when you level up, you go to the next level, and you're usually not very good at it at the beginning. All right. But I know we'll all feel better when my sense of humor returns to full blast. Let's hope that's soon. So everybody stay cool, be cool, and I will talk to you guys in the very near future.